This is the issue, and I am the ghetto man. Today's issue, the 10th plank of the Communist Manifesto, free education for all children in government schools. Professors and teachers, obligation to teach historical truth. We'll be right back. Don't go away. The 10th plank of the Communist Manifesto, which reads in pertinent part, free education for all children in government schools. Now, we adopted the 10th plank of the Communist Manifesto here in America in 1954. Today, property owners pay exorbitant compulsory property tax to support this so-called free education system. In fact, a teacher's salary comes directly out of the pockets of every property owner in America. Now, when we hire college professors and school teachers, we place these people in a position of public trust. We trust that they will faithfully and honestly teach our children our historical roots, roots that have made the United States, its Constitution, our Republican form of government, and the American people uniquely different than any other nation on the planet. Today, the public school system, and this includes the colleges, have become nothing more than propaganda tools for the anti-American communist revolution that's being orchestrated from within the Democratic Party today. The professors and teachers are now abusing our trust, and they're abusing our trust to promote a traitorous anti-American, anti-Constitution, leftist, racist, democratic, socialist, communist, fascist political ideology. An ideology that runs counter to American history, constitutional law, and patriotism. Now, Karl Marx made it abundantly clear that communism, in order to gain control of the masses, had to destroy a nation's history and its culture from within and create a new and different history in its place. A history that supports the political mandates of communism and the Communist Party. Now, in order to do this, true American history has to be erased, and that's what the public school system has done. The public school system and the college system has erased American history. They are brainwashing our children. Nothing that our founding fathers established is taught in our communist school systems. Quoting directly from the Communist Manifesto, Karl Marx wrote, quote, "Communism abolishes eternal truths. It abolishes all religion and all morality. And instead of constituting them on a new basis, it therefore acts in contradiction to all past historical experiences." Communist Manifesto, read it for yourself. When you create a compulsory government-controlled public school system, and then you fill it with people that are hell-bent on overthrowing our Constitution, that are poisoning our children's minds with historical and legal lies, what a perfect way to destroy a nation from within. It was Adolf Hitler that said, and he said this after closing Christian schools in Germany, he said, "When an opponent declares, 'I will not come over to your side,' I calmly say, 'Your child belongs to us already. What are you?' You will pass on. Your descendants, however, now stand in the new camp. In a short time, they will know nothing else but this new community," unquote. Now, teachers are supposed to teach our children about American history, U.S. Constitution, our Republican form of government, sound money, due process, equal protection under the law, and, of course, patriotism, above all. They're not supposed to teach our children treason, insurrection, and rebellion against the Union in order to establish their communist agenda. The question I ask people today is, have college professors and teachers, have they become domestic enemies? Have they traded their allegiance to the United States to an allegiance to the communist overthrow of our country? Are they recruiting our children to further their anti-American cause? I'd like you to think about that for a minute. Instead of teaching our children their Western heritage, they are teaching our children how to disobey the law. They are teaching our children how to overthrow the country. They're teaching our children how to engage in acts of violence, insurrection, rebellion, and treason against the Union, for crying out loud. Aren't these acts of violence, these acts of insurrection, these acts of rebellion, and these acts of treasons, aren't these crimes against the United States? Aren't they crimes against the individual states in which these people reside in as well? The First Amendment, freedom of speech, doesn't protect somebody's speech if what they're speaking is to commit a crime, to cause an insurrection or rebellion. The First Amendment doesn't protect that. Those are crimes. The First Amendment doesn't protect people from yelling fire in a crowded theater. Now, if these people have been teaching our children how to commit crimes against the United States, why haven't any of them been arrested, tried, and convicted, and punished for these obvious crimes? Now, as I said earlier, when we hire professors and teachers, we place these people in a position of public trust. And look at what they're doing. They're abusing our trust by rewriting our history. And they're rewriting our history to promote their traitors, anti-American, anti-constitutional, leftist, racist, democratic, socialist, communist, fascist, political agenda and ideology. When it comes to citizenship in the United States, there can only be one allegiance, and that allegiance is to the United States Constitution and our Republican form of government. Not an allegiance to a foreign and alien failed ideology like communism. Freedom and justice demand that we expose and stamp out the leftist campaign to overthrow our republic. Any college professor, any school teacher, or any other person for that matter who claims to be an American while imposing political beliefs that undermine our republic is not an American. They are traitors. They are traitors to the republic. And they are domestic enemies. In this country, we only have room for one form of government, and that government is a Republican form of government. We only have room in this country for one flag, and that flag is the American flag. We only have room in this country for one language, and that language is the English language. We only have room in this country for one loyalty, and that loyalty is to the United States Constitution and our Republican form of government. Every public servant takes an oath to uphold and defend the U.S. Constitution from all enemies, foreign and domestic. And we expect them to honor that oath, and we expect them to honor it at all times. We cannot accept any professor or teacher that undermines the United States Constitution to teach in any public school or federally subsidized college. We have an obligation, we have a duty to expose the traitor from within. We must expose our domestic enemies. Perhaps the colleges should be sued for teaching our children historical lies. Perhaps the colleges should be sued for teaching our children anti-American extremist propaganda. Perhaps we should shut them all down. They're nothing but lunatics asylums anyway. Most of all, we must not allow the people who have control of our children's minds for 8 hours a day undermine our nation's history, our nation's morality, and above all, undermine our constitutional law and our constitutionally protected inalienable rights. If you're politically correct, then you're legally wrong. And if you're not part of the solution, then you are the problem. I am the Ghetto Man. Thank you for watching. I have placed the links to some of my other shows that support this subject in the comment section of the video below. Please subscribe to my channel, and above all, please share. Long live the Republic.